Hi guys, hope you're well. So today I am finally filming the long awaited favorite foundations and all the great foundations for dry skin. This took a while because I was testing out a lot of foundations. I've narrowed it down to 7 foundations from 30 that I was reviewing and that I found is the best for extremely dry to dry skin. If you want to know what they were, then just keep on watching. So these are in no particular order. The first one is the Estee Lauder Double. I really love this foundation, and I know a lot of people say that this is a little too much for dry skin, but personally I really like this foundation and I highly recommend it. It's what I'm wearing on today. Usually when I have photo shoots and when I'm filming and stuff, I like to wear this foundation, or if I have really bad breakouts, this is a great foundation. So it retails at £30. It's medium to full coverage. You get this in a lot of shades, from light to dark. This actually has my shade in the range, which is very unlikely. Usually foundations, it would be really hard for me to find a lighter shade, so they have a range of shades, and also they have like yellow toned and pink toned as well. It lasts all day. Like, this is the foundation. So I believe it's advertised as a 15-hour long wear foundation, but I've worn it for longer and it's lasted. It does get a little cakey around the nose area, and I would say like the chin area for me personally. However, it's a great foundation. It doesn't cling to dry patches. Like, when I have extremely dry skin, I do tend to reach for this. I have tried to apply it with a beauty blender when I want a more lighter coverage. However, the best way to apply this is with a brush. That's what I personally prefer, and I feel that's when it gives the better results. So I don't have that many cons about this. The only thing is it dries very fast, so you have to work with it quite quick. And sometimes when I have quite a few dry patches, because I'm kind of rubbing the brush in a little too much, like, it can kind of show a little bit of the flakiness, but it's not too bad, just a tiny bit. Like, that's one of the only cons. Also, it is very heavy, so if you don't like heavy foundations, this isn't for you. And then also, it doesn't come with a pump, so that's kind of a downer. It's quite hard to use, and sometimes too much product comes out, so like you're wasting it kind of thing. Also, this is a matte finish. I love the way it looks. It's just amazing, and I feel like it's not like, even though it's a matte finish, it's not like a completely drying matte finish. Like, I've added highlight, and then during the day, like, I produce a tiny bit of oil. It kind of just makes it look really good, so it doesn't look like your face is dry matte. It's a really nice matte finish. The next one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light, which I actually prefer the Double Wear compared to this one. I find that this one, I have to have exfoliated pretty well the night before, or in the morning, depending on when you do it, to apply this. I find that it does cling to dry patches slightly more. Also, I do find that it doesn't last 15 hours as it promises. I would say this is more of a 6 to 8 hour, like, perfect kind of 6 to 8 hours of perfect foundation. After a while, especially if it's hot, now that it's summer and stuff, I feel like it starts to slowly break down once again around the nose and the chin area quite badly, and I don't like that, because I like my foundation to look the same as when I left the house. I really like my long wearing foundations. This is also £30, and it's also 30ml. So that's that. I don't really have much to say, because I would say it's very similar to Estee Lauder Double Wear, except this one is a tiny bit lighter, but it's still very thick. I would say this is a medium coverage, definitely not a light. It's a medium. Also, the other thing is, I find applying it with a brush is best as well. Also, it's really nice with a beauty blender, that like, if you do want a little bit less coverage and for it to look a little bit lighter, then you can use a beauty blender, and it looks really good with that. So now on to probably, I have two from all these. I have two favorite foundations that are just amazing. One of them is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. This is $10.99. This foundation is amazing. It's found at the drugstore. This is the thing though, the shades of this foundation is not great. The lightest shade is 51 Vanilla. It's a pink undertone and it's slightly too dark for me, which is kind of a bummer. And also the fact that it has a pink undertone I'm not too keen on, but honestly this lasts 20 hours for me. I've tried it, super amazing. I love the consistency. It's so easy to use. It's great with the brush, with the beauty blender, like you can apply with your hands. It's just really good. It's an all-rounded great foundation. It is light coverage, I wouldn't really say medium. You can build it up, and if you put a bit of concealer on then it'll be okay if you want slightly more coverage, but I would say it's pretty light. And I feel like because it's a gel foundation, it's very hydrating. This is amazing if you have extremely dry skin, and if you're having a really dry, like sometimes I don't exfoliate properly every single night, like as in heavy exfoliating, so the next day I like to use this foundation because I know it won't cling to my dry patches as much as the other foundations. So I might as well mention my #1 favorite foundation. This is the best foundation I have personally ever used. It's the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. This is £12.50 currently on the Look Fantastic website. Comes with a pump. Now this only comes in 5 shades. I have F100 and this I would say is an NC25, not even an NC20. Like it's dark for a lot of my friends that are NC20. I'm NC15, so I'm super pale. That's the only downside of this foundation. Apart from that, it's super amazing. Like lasts literally, I have worn this all day and night at one time. It lasted the whole time. It looks like skin, it feels amazing, looks amazing. It's so good for dry skin. It does not cling to any patches. It's just such a beautiful foundation and it looks so natural. I really love this foundation. I just really wish they did lighter shades. That's my one big ask from EX1, is please do lighter shades and do more shades as well, because 5 shades is just, it's not really enough. The next foundation is actually a tinted moisturizer and it's from Laura Mercier. Now this is really good. I know it's kind of advertised as a tinted moisturizer, but I would say this is more of a very light foundation rather than a tinted moisturizer, because the coverage on this is actually really good. It's a very dewy finish. It's great for the summer. It just feels really good. Lasting power is pretty okay. I would say probably 6 to 10 hours is probably how long it's good for. I'm not too keen on the shades. Again, too pink. The lighter shades are just not great. They're very, all the undertones are pink. I don't like pink undertones. So I'm shade Porcelain. It's really good for dry skin. This is one of the most amazing ones for dry skin, just dry skin in general, like even double wear and everything. This is much better. However, obviously if you want full coverage, this isn't your foundation. Now this is also the most expensive one. It's £34, which is quite expensive for a tinted moisturizer, I would say, considering it's Laura Mercier as well. Like I was actually really surprised that this was my most expensive foundation. So this is the oil-free one as well, I forgot to mention. Oil-free with SPF 20, lightweight, flawless coverage. This is actually for all skin types, especially sensitive or oily skins, but I think this is great for dry skin personally, because even though it's oil-free, it's got enough hydration in it. It's very dewy, so honestly I would really recommend, if you're looking for a very light foundation, this is probably a really good one to go for. The next foundation is the Makeup Forever Face and Body. This is a great foundation. This is very similar to the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This is £34 and this is actually 50 ml. This is a very big foundation size. I'm actually surprised it's 50 ml. Usually foundations are 30. For £27, that's really good. 50 ml for 27. That's a really good foundation. This is water based, so you can't apply it with the beauty blender. You have to apply it with either your, they say fingers. I personally don't like applying this with my fingers. I use a brush. I find brushes are really good, but however the brush does soak up a lot of the foundation. It's a great foundation. It also lasts quite a long time. They do good shade ranges. This, once again, if you're fair, then it's not that great because I find this too pink, so I ended up getting a sample of shade 20, I think. I'm not sure what the shade this is. Is this shade 38? I'm not sure, but I got a much darker shade. Like, I would say I got an NC30, and I mix it in with this, and I find that it gives me my perfect, because that one's very yellow, it gives me a very perfect finish. I love that it comes with a pump. It's so easy to use, and like it opens up really easily, so I could just add the other foundation into here and like mix it up, and then it's my perfect shade. I don't have anything bad to say about this foundation. I did try this because this was Kathleen Light's favorite foundation at one point, and I love her. She's so amazing, so I was like, I have to try this, and I'm so glad I did. It's a great foundation. I don't reach for it as much as I think I should. So the last one that I wanted to mention, and it's my most recent one that I've been trying, you can't get it in the UK. I actually got mine off Depop, so I managed to find a seller who was selling my shade in my shade on Depop. You can get your friends to order it. There's various ways that you can order this, but yeah, so it's the Elcie Micro Silk Foundation. This is $45. My shade is Porcelain. The shade ranges is great. Apparently it's amazing for all skin types. I really love this foundation. I think it's very nice. It's very different from all the foundations I have. Like, it has, the finish is a very matte powdery look, but powdery not to sense, like, I have very dry skin, so I'm very particular about matte foundations. However, this has a really nice matte finish. Like, it doesn't look like it's drying your skin out and stuff. However, I would say if you are going to use this foundation and you have extremely dry skin, then you do need to moisturize, and also you need to exfoliate very well, because if you do have like flakiness, it doesn't like cling to it as much, but it does cling to the very dry patches. So like on my forehead here and slightly around my nose, I do find that this clings. I have to, when I do use this, it's on days where my skin's not so dry. It's a great foundation. I love the color. It's probably, from all the foundations, yeah, from all the foundations I mentioned, this is the best match for my skin tone. That's also why I love it so much. The thing that really puts people off is the fact that it has like a powdery matte finish. Don't get put off by that, because it's not very drying. If that, like, for example, I bought the new Chanel foundation. That was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. Like, it was so drying. It had such a powdery finish. It clung to all my dry patches. Like, my skin wasn't even dry that day. It made my skin so dry. So I don't recommend that foundation for dry skin, but I'm just saying it's not like that. Like, it has a very subtle matte powdery finish, if that makes sense. But it was quite interesting to see how, because I have dry skin, usually foundations that have a powder finish usually look really bad on me, but this looked good. So that was just nice to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that and you found it helpful, because I know a lot of you guys were asking for my opinion on foundations for dry skin and what were my favorites and stuff. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below in the comment box. I would love to answer all of you guys that have any issues or any questions about foundations. Personally, I have tried so many foundations. I might as well mention this foundation. It's the Illamasqua Skinbase. I love this foundation. The color's amazing, the way it smells, like the applicator, everything is just so great. The shade, everything is amazing. Only downside is I find on my skin, because I do have, my skin's dehydrated, so it means it's very dry, but I still produce oil. So because of that, I find that like during the day, after about 6-7 hours, what happens is it starts to like slowly separate around my nose, like around my T-zone. That's the only thing I don't like. That's why I kind of didn't want to mention this foundation, because I found that it's really good. I love to use it in my videos and stuff, and if I'm going out just for a bit. But if I know I'm going out and I'm going to be out for over 6 hours, then I don't like to wear this, just because it just doesn't last that long, and I wish it did last long. I hope you guys found that helpful and also have been a little inspired, and also I managed to help you guys find a good foundation, and I kind of narrowed it down to which ones that you could choose from if you have dry skin. I love those foundations. Also, by the way, if you have normal or oily skin, most of those foundations work for that type of skin, that skin type as well. It's just that I found that those foundations worked really well for my dry skin. Yeah, and also if you guys have any recommendations that I haven't already spoken about for dry skin, leave them down in the comment box down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.